Oh no, not another GZ build. All right, legends, welcome back. Today's video probably wasn't the video I was expecting to be making so soon. This week's video was supposed to be back on the LS Corolla. I got the fuel cell and everything to do that. So I was supposed to be, getting stuck back into that. But got home from Summernats, unloaded, and before I could even look at the car, got a phone call to say I'm driving at the Keep It Reet event in Melbourne next weekend. So Driftfest, which is a invite only sort of event, going to be very big. So Calder Park on Australia Day long weekend. And my car was very much not ready. So I hadn't had a chance to go over the carnage that happened at Summernats, basically. Hadn't had a chance to have a look over the car yet. Said yes to it anyway. When I started my car up and drove it off the trailer, down a cylinder. Because, I'm an idiot and I do this. But who cares? I'll do it again. You watch me. Basically I thought straight away, same old, cracked a piston or something, damaged a piston maybe. But it was pushing a lot of oil at the time, and that was just like idling sort of thing. So put it in the shed, drop the sump. Actually, what I should say is, after Summernats, my plan was always to build this motor. So I was like, I've got a bit of time after Summernats. I'm going to rip this engine out, send it to the machine shop, do a set of 86.5mm pistons and rods and everything, and it should be good to last a while, and I won't have to be rebuilding it so often or pulling it apart. So yeah, like I said, got this phone call, so I thought no time to do that now. Put it in the shed, dropped the sump off of it, found some metal in the oil, in the pan. Not ideal, obviously. So, and it was metal that I wasn't sure what it was. Racked my brain, couldn't think of anything. So engine out. Obviously my first thing was it was probably going to be a piston, but yeah, the metal that I found made me think it was maybe an oil seal or something. But when I pulled the pan off, I also found this. So this is the oil pickup. And if you can see that crack there? Yeah, that's not good. That was very, very close to breaking an engine properly. So thankfully, I checked these things, and I do like to pull the pan off every couple of events anyway. That was lucky. So I've got a spare one of them to chuck on anyway. Pulled the pistons out. Pistons all look schmicko. No damage, don't worry about all the dirt on them. There's plenty of crud on them. But yeah, they're all in very good condition. They would go back in exactly how they are. Even the bearings are all mint in them. So where did the metal in the pan come from? This is what I found in the pan. Lots of little bits of metal, like so. And racked my brain. Couldn't think of what it would be. So yeah, stripped the whole engine down, pulled the crank out, main bearings, everything looks good in it. I thought maybe because these motors, the threads from the flywheel go through into the sump sort of thing. So checked all that out. Everything looks good there. Next thing was head. Basically, I racked my brain until I found a little... I'm not sure if we can see this. Tiny little spring. Valve stem seals. So it's chewed a valve stem seal in the head. So probably a valve guide has maybe shit the pin. And yeah, obviously from lots of limiter. Summernats, absolute carnage on my car. It's not like a lot of other cars that just go and idle around all weekend and do some skids and stuff. Obviously burnout cars are different again, but this thing does about 200 million cycles of limiter at Summernats. It absolutely cops it. So anyway, found the problem. Head, got a spare head, that's no problems. While the engine's apart, rings and bearings. So I've got the block ready to go. I was trying not to make another video on, you know, another 2J build, because I always seem to be doing this lately. But yeah, I just, like I said, ran out of time. So it's currently Thursday and I need to have this car loaded up and ready to go by Tuesday, because I still have to work between now and then I have to work Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm driving to Melbourne Thursday night for practice at Calder Park on Friday. So yeah, jam-packed week, that's for sure, like it always is. Anyway, so next problem is, obviously, my spare engine that I took to Summernats, that's the head that I need. That's one of my good heads that I have. So I've got to strip that engine, take the head off of that for that engine. I'm still waiting on a couple bits. A head gasket should be here any minute today, hopefully, so that I can actually get this engine together. I've got another head that I'm going to put back onto that spare engine, so I can still take a spare engine with. Yeah, this, once again, I'm going to do the old run it in at the track scenario. But yeah, it seemed to work last time. Sealed up pretty good. Yeah, had no like breathing issues or anything afterwards, so I'm going to do it again. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I just don't have time to actually take it to a dyno. I do actually have some run-in oil, so I'm going to do it at the track. Run it in for 20 minutes, drop the oil, and then get it basically. So, yeah, so absolutely jam-packed January. So this would be 60 tyres that I would have gone through. So I've got another 26 tyres on the way. Yeah, to take next weekend. So yeah, lots happening. Let's get this JZ together. So new bearings in all the rods, all standard size, everything measures up pretty good. Rings are gapped. I'm not going to go into any of it again because I'm on a very short timeline. I really should invest in a half decent ring compressor for these, but I've done enough of them. I should just get one of those like 86mm ones, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I should add that I have, in fact, honed everything, oiled all the bores and everything, so yeah. Skipped a few steps there of filming. So standard rod bolts are obviously to Toyota spec, 29 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. I have plastic gauged them before now, so I know, like I said, I measured them and then plastic gauged them, everything, clearance is good in them. These are ACL bearings. ACL bearings are a little less precise than the Toyota stuff, but yeah, it's still good. The key is all together and then give it the wiggle. Make sure that there's that little bit of play there. Otherwise, if there's not, you're too tight, just in case. Okay, so now we've got twice as much work to do. So I probably should have explained a bit more about how I found what the metal was from before I found those springs. So like I said, I found those couple little springs, which was the teller in the end. But to start with, I only found these bits of metal, right? And they were very, they looked like they'd been squashed, essentially. So that's why I pulled the bottom end down, because, yeah, basically I wanted to make sure that there had been nothing, obviously nothing had come from the bottom end and nothing had been through it. Like I said, being squashed, there was only a certain amount of things that move in the engine that could have actually squashed it. Before I found where it was actually from also, I pulled the oil pump down because I thought maybe that was starting to fail and some metal had come from that, but that actually looks brand new inside there. But yeah, so that's where I then come to the conclusion that it was from the head. Bottom end was fine, oil pump was fine. And then, yeah, like I said, those little bits of metal that I found had been squashed. So pretty much I put 2 and 2 together. It was going to come from something that had been through a valve spring to have squashed it. Yeah, and then that's obviously where I found the little springs. So like I said, now, if you've got a JZ and you find that in your oil pan, probably valve stem seals. Right, so yeah, this is my good head that I need to put onto this bottom end. So obviously, bottom end's all torqued and everything ready to go. I need to put the oil pump back on still, but I've got to pull that head off. I also found one other thing that I'm going to fix while I'm going, and that is these, yeah, these gears, the timing gears for the cams. Yeah, they're very, very worn. Like it's like you can see here almost. There's like a, yeah, it's very worn. So they're just like the cheap Golby's ones. I'm going to put stock ones back on it, so I'm either going to put those ones in it or I've got some more here somewhere. So yeah, let's play some musical engines. That head needs to go into that bottom end. That head there needs to go into that bottom end, so I can wrap that back up and take that as my spare engine again. Now that head also needs a few modifications because I actually drill these out to maybe 1/2 inch. I can't remember the size. BSP, I think, is what I was going to because I run a water bypass on these heads. So yeah, drill them out like so and like so. So yeah, that one there goes to the water bypass that goes around to the back of the water pump, and then that one there goes to that port on the block. So you can kind of see it on this one. Let's get stuck into this. She's mostly together. Spare motor just mocked up. I'll admit, I just mocked that up for the thumbnail. I still have to drill a couple of things out on that. So, but yeah, this motor, other than a couple bolts, I need to go to the shop, buy some bolts. Yeah, everything else is pretty well ready to go on it. Like I said, old cam gears are back on because those ones are just that little bit worn. But yeah, she's almost ready to go. So, but next time you see this, next time you see me, I'll be at the track in Melbourne with any luck. So if you are coming to the event, come say g'day. Not sure if the pits are open yet. I'll put a link below to tickets. It is a very big event. It's probably the biggest drift only event in Australia this year. So I'm very excited to be going to it. There is one other thing. I've got another exciting event coming up, which is Adelaide Motorsport Festival. So if you've watched for the last year, you'll know that I did the event last year, and it is a very prestigious event, I guess you would say. It's a very big event. So starting the year off with Summernats, Drift Fest, and Adelaide Motorsport Festival. So 3 massive events in 3 months. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think at this stage I'll be doing anything in February. I probably can't afford it, to be honest. It's going to be an expensive January. But yeah, I'm super grateful for all of you tuning in every week. Really, really appreciate it. I know my event videos aren't as popular as my building cars videos, but I want to try and get it up there so that I can do these event videos and build cars, and it's viable sort of thing. When I started the channel off, I was always sort of going to be 50% building cars / working on cars, 50% drifting. Like I said in previous videos, that 50% of drifting events might turn into other disciplines as well this year, sort of thing. So as we branch out into some different categories, I guess. But yeah, anyway, like I said, if you come to Drift Fest, see you next week. I don't think there's too much more on the Corolla that I need to go over. There's a few bits and pieces, but overall damage wise, Summernats didn't take its toll too much on the actual chassis and body of the car. I'm going to give it a bolt check and whatnot and go over it, but once those running gears back in, I was actually going to swap gearboxes back again because this bad boy's got some better selector forks in it, and I think we'll be changing gears plenty at this event. So, but yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, you legends. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date and catch my future videos. We'll see you next week.